Each one of these containers is 561 calories and 50 grams of protein. It's incredibly easy to make, and of course it's delicious. This right here is honey butter garlic chicken. Just before we jump in, give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment for the algorithm, and subscribe along with hitting the bell notification next to it so you don't miss when I upload. And also, for the month of November, because it's Black Friday sales, my book is now free shipping, link in the description. The prep for this one is super easy. We're going to need boneless and skinless chicken breast, 10 cloves of garlic, as well as 10 grams of ginger, and a spring onion or scallion, which is completely optional because it's going to be used as a garnish. Now for the chicken breast, this is 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds. Slice it into strips lengthways, into thin strips that is. Rotate at 90 degrees and then just dice these into medium to large size chunks. Try and be as consistent as possible, that way it will all cook at the same rate. As for the garlic and ginger, we're going to need 10 cloves of garlic and 10 grams of ginger. The garlic's going to be split into 6 and 4, so we'll start off with the 4 and then leave this separate. As for the 6 and the 10 grams of ginger, this can be grated together and mixed to combine because it's going to be used for our chicken seasoning and marinade. If you did want to use spring onion or scallion, we only need 1. Slice this in half to make it easier to work with, and then just go through and slice this into rounds. You can also thinly slice it on an angle to create that nice little bit of presentation, but that choice is all yours. Now into a bowl, add the diced chicken along with 1/4 of a cup or 60 milliliters of low sodium soy sauce, the garlic cloves and the ginger that have been grated together, and then season heavily with ground white pepper. I'd usually say to taste, but obviously that doesn't mean to actual taste, it just means to your preference. Give it a good mix around, make sure everything's coated, breaking up that garlic and ginger paste, and what you should have is something that looks like this. Add 100 grams or 4.2 ounces of corn flour or cornstarch to a bowl or something with large sides so it doesn't spill out. Add in the chicken and just do this in batches and dust this lightly with that corn flour, placing it onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Don't place too much in there, otherwise it won't stick properly and then you'll just end up with gluggy chicken. Give the chicken a light spray with some spray oil. You can do it on both sides if you feel like that's necessary, but you can just do it on the one side, it doesn't really matter. Then we're going to either place these in the oven or in the air fryer, and for the first time in my life I'll actually recommend an air fryer over an oven, and use the cooking times and temps on screen. Now I'm using rice for this recipe. Add 300 grams or about 1.5 cups of jasmine rice that's been washed to a saucepan along with 550 milliliters of cold water. Add in a pinch of salt to taste and then give it a stir over a high heat, bringing it up to a boil. And when it is at a boil, we can reduce the heat to low, place on a lid and cook this for 12 minutes undisturbed. Now the honey garlic sauce is simple and easy to put together. Place a large pan over a medium-high heat. Add in 2 tablespoons or 28 grams of unsalted butter. Once that's just about melted, add in the 4 cloves of grated garlic and then mix this around, making sure it's not clumped up, and cook this for about 1 to 1.5 minutes until it's nice and bubbly and fragrant. Add in 80 milliliters or 1/3 of a cup of low sodium soy sauce, 60 milliliters or 1/4 of a cup of chicken or vegetable stock. Mix that all through again and we're going to bring this up to a simmer and cook this for about 1 minute. At this stage, add in half a teaspoon or 1 gram of dried chili flakes, which is of course optional, and a corn flour slurry of 1.5 teaspoons of corn flour or starch and 3 teaspoons of cold water mixed together. That's going to thicken our sauce once it reacts to the heat. Mix it all through, it will thicken up quite quickly, only cook this for about 30 to 45 seconds until you can create those ribbons through the sauce. Then we can add in 1.5 tablespoons or 30 grams of honey. You can also use a chili honey if you want that extra bit of spice, just to add a little bit of sweetness through the sauce. Mix it and cook it for about 30 seconds. At this stage, we'll remove the chicken from the oven or the air fryer. I do recommend using an air fryer, it will be so much more crispy than the oven. Then we can add this into the sauce, make sure you scrape it all in there and then just mix it all around, making sure nothing's stuck together and all of that chicken is completely coated in that sticky honey and garlic and soy sauce. As for the rice, this has been cooking for 12 minutes. Turn it off the heat and let it sit for a final 4 minutes before removing the lid, and then just fluff it up with a spatula or a fork. And what you'll have is this soft, fluffy rice. And right here is the macro card for the rice, as well as the individual serving size. The containers I'm using are 750 milliliters in size. I'm using one side for the rice and then one side for the chicken. Garnish it up with a little bit of black or white sesame seeds, as well as the spring onion or scallion that we chopped at the beginning. And right here is our honey garlic chicken meal prep. It's delicious, it smells amazing, and I cannot wait for you to try it yourself. As for the macro card, this is everything together or the complete dish, as well as the individual serving size. Let these cool down for about 15 to 20 minutes before starting to place the lids on and then getting them in the fridge for up to 3 days and in the freezer for up to 4 months. If you have frozen them, allow them to thaw overnight in the fridge before trying to reheat. And a microwave is going to be your best friend. It is going to rehydrate the dish. If you do it in a pan, you will need to add a liquid and then the chicken's not going to be crispy anymore. The only thing left is to then dig in. On the inside, the chicken is juicy and soft, and then on the outside you have that slight crunch and those sticky pieces from the sauce and obviously that corn flour we dusted the chicken in. The rice, I'd say, is probably essential just to use to be able to mix through that sauce. It's going to balance it and even out the flavors a little bit more. Absolutely delicious. Highly recommend you try it yourself. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe along with hitting that bell notification next to it so you never miss when I upload. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.